50 points on the board at the halfway point in the Premier League season, on course to level the record points total and 5 clear of their nearest challenger with a game in hand. We said at the start of the season that Arsenal had a chance of challenging Manchester City and Liverpool to the title, but the Gunners' campaign is going better than we or their fans could have possibly imagined. And their return to the top is down to one man, manager Mikel Arteta. But how are Arsenal being revitalised by Arteta? Join us as we find out on Football Reality. Mikel Arteta took over as manager of Arsenal in December 2019, replacing Unai Emery. Emery had never got a consistent tune out of the Gunners since taking over from Arsene Wenger in the Emirates Stadium hot seat, but one win in 9 games going into the winter was the final straw for the board. Arteta was no stranger to Arsenal, having played 150 times for the club between 2011 and 2016, twice winning the FA Cup. With over 200 appearances for Everton and league and cup success with Rangers, Arteta was well versed in British football. He was a graduate of La Masia Academy, spent time at Paris Saint-Germain, and would surely have won many caps for Spain if his career hadn't coincided with perhaps the greatest international midfield ever assembled. Arteta certainly had the credentials where his playing days were concerned, but as we've seen all too often, a glittering club career doesn't automatically make you a great gaffer. What can make you a great gaffer, however, is spending 3 years with Pep Guardiola as part of his Manchester City backroom staff. And just as luck would have it, that's exactly what Arteta did. He was appointed in 2016 as one of Pep's 3 assistant coaches after he hung up his boots. Pep had known Mikel for a number of years, with the former Barcelona and Bayern manager long being convinced that Arteta would one day make a great coach. At the Etihad, he learnt from the best, honed his coaching skills and built great relationships with players, all of which were enough for Arsenal to roll the dice on their former number 8. Arteta's first match in charge was a disappointing Boxing Day draw with Bournemouth, before conceding a late lead against Chelsea to lose his first home match in charge. From then on, things were much brighter. Arsenal beat Manchester City to begin an 8-match unbeaten league run, which was only scuppered by the long break for the UK's first COVID-19 lockdown. Their league form after the restart was patchy and they finished 8th, but they kept moving on in the FA Cup, a competition they had much success in during the Wenger reign, beating Mikel's former employers City in the semis before beating Chelsea to lift the trophy in front of an empty Wembley. Of the 14 Arsenal players who got minutes in Arteta's first match in charge, only 3, Granit Xhaka, Reece Nelson and Bukayo Saka, have played for the Gunners in this campaign. So it seems that Arteta actually revived Arsenal 3 years ago? Oh, come on. It's never that simple. The following season, Arsenal couldn't improve on their 8th place finish. They performed poorly in the Cups, and the only plus point was reaching the Europa League semi-finals. Already, pressure was mounting, with some fans and pundits calling for his sacking. His supporters pointed to his FA Cup success as sufficient reason to keep him on, but without an awful but timely injury to Bernd Leno resulting in Emiliano Martinez getting the spot between the sticks, there is a strong chance that triumph would never have happened. Talking of changes to the starting 11, it must be said that Arteta has had plenty of spending power to use while at the helm. During his tenure, Ben White arrived for £52 million, Thomas Partey and Gabriel Jesus arrived for £45 million each, while Martin Odegaard and Fabio Vieira both cost over £30 million. The spending spree is yet to end, with both Leandro Trossard and Jakub Kivior each arriving for an initial £21 million during January. In terms of departures, Joe Willock for £26 million and Martinez for £15 million are the only 2 to fetch more than £10 million. The total spend on transfers stands just below £390 million, while the total sold figure is just under £67 million, which creates a net spend of approximately £320 million. So is that the answer? Arsenal are just spending their way to the title? Well, guess again. While other clubs have wasted money on inflated transfer fees and failed to move certain bad eggs on, Arsenal have got a great return for all their investments in Arteta's time. Arsenal were once guilty of such wastefulness. We only have to look at record signing Nicolas Pepe, with his 16 Premier League goals, hardly worth the £72 million Arsenal forked out. Plus £22.5 million went down the drain on Willian. Pepe is still contracted to the Gunners, but is on loan at Nice and unlikely to feature again. Indisciplined former captain Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang left for Barcelona on a free, and misfiring Alexandre Lacazette left for Lyon in the summer. On the flip side, Thomas Partey has become the team's linchpin between defence and attack. Ben White is doing a faultless job at right-back rather than his usual centre-back role, and Martin Odegaard is the top scorer in the league from attacking midfield. Gabriel Jesus, meanwhile, made a strong start to North London Live 2 before an injury scuppered his season. Moving on the deadwood and spending on the right players. It's the Arteta way. Arteta is also stuck with his tactical setup to get the best out of his players. Unai Emery favoured a 4-4-2 or 4-3-3 formation, but Arteta bought in a 4-2-3-1 plan from day one. Like every change of system, it took a while to bed in, but last season we began to see what this side was capable of. After a shocking start to the campaign, Arsenal lost only 4 times in the Premier League between August and March, with the central midfield pairing of Partey and Granit Xhaka giving Odegaard a solid platform to roam free and join Saka and Gabriel Martinelli in attack, creating plenty of goals. A disappointing run-in saw them lose out on the final Champions League place to Spurs, but 2021-22 was a big step in the right direction. The system is the same this season. With regular starters, it has become a settled lineup. We've seen Arteta deploy inverted fullbacks, where the fullbacks bring the ball in field, allowing Arsenal to saturate the midfield and launch attacks through the middle. So the tactics are right, so is the personnel, but how about the attitude? Arsenal have had a dearth of leadership ever since the days of Henry and Vieira. A team which was once full of leaders such as Tony Adams, David Seaman and Martin Keown had been famed for its softness for too long. The nadir was reached when then-captain Xhaka chucked his shirt to the ground and taunted the Arsenal fans in a home draw with Crystal Palace in one of Emery's last games in charge, eventually being stripped of the armband in favour of Aubameyang. But now, the unassuming Martin Odegaard is relishing the captaincy despite his mere 24 years, and against all odds, Xhaka's become a fan favourite again, thanks to his tireless performances. With Aaron Ramsdale in goal and Alexander Zinchenko arriving from Manchester City, they have leaders at the back, plus more quality now that William Saliba has become part of the team. Plus, the belief they have to go and score late goals, hold on for victories, or believe in the whole squad is something not seen at the Emirates for a long time. This was encapsulated best by Eddie Nketiah's late winner against Manchester United. The team kept digging in against the only team to beat them in the league, and the replacement for the injured Jesus stepped up as time was running out. Always one for building relationships with the squad and working on man management, this is the result of Mikel Arteta's work. All this incredible form will count for little if Arsenal don't go on to win a trophy this season, but it proves if you give a young manager time to work with the squad, brilliant things can happen. Time for you to have your say. Will Mikel Arteta help Arsenal to their first Premier League title since 2004? Or are they going to bottle it over the second half of the season? What do you think is the main difference in Arteta's reign compared to Emery or even Wenger? Let us know your thoughts. Don't forget to subscribe and we'll see you again soon on Football Reality.